Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Adult Coloring by ILene Vick. And that popping that you hear in the background are my neighbors setting off firecrackers here in Tennessee at their home next door. It is the 4th of July, and I want to wish my American friends happy 4th of July. And to my British friends, I say, well, sorry about that. So, I'm here now to talk about the next installment of my coloring of the Mermaid, and this will be the last one that I'm doing to finish up the project. And specifically, I'm going to be teaching on coloring the tail. Let me bend that up for you a little bit. Isn't that beautiful? Now with that shine light on, let me fix that. There you go. And we're also going to do the hair, so I'm going to combine the two of them. Alright, so let me grab my blank piece of paper here. I hope everybody's doing well. Let's see. And here we go. Let me adjust my light. And we'll get going here. Alright, so to start the tail, I decided I'm going to do something a little bit different than my original. Let me show you that again just so you can kind of get an idea. I did all of this with pencil. And let me zoom in here a little bit so you can see exactly. It's just a blue and a green, standard blue and a green color. But I decided just to give it a little bit of, it's a light green, light blue. But just to give it a little bit of sheen, I'm going to go ahead and use gel pens. And pop that there, get a little closer, and specifically I'm going to use glitter gel pens. Now if you don't have a set of these, get a set. They're pretty great. I mean, they're great for everything. Just wonderful. I like them. So these are standard gel pens. You can, now this one, it's a glitter blue, and this is a glitter neon green, just to give a little bit of difference in color and shine. You can find these on Amazon. They have large glitter sets. I think the one I got was by American Art. I'm not 100% sure, but if you do a search, you will find it. So let's get going. All right. So I'm going to turn my page sideways. And I'm going to zoom in here so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Now, if this gets a little bit boring for you, go ahead and just zoom forward, fast forward. In fact, actually what I'm going to do, scratch that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I will fast forward the video. So I'll do it for a while in standard time, and then I'll go ahead and fast forward. And sorry for the waving around here. I just want to get a really good angle here. Alright, so let's start. Now, it doesn't matter if you start with the blue or the green. I'm going to start with the green pen. And of course, what you want to do with your pen is go ahead and test it and, get it going so that you know that it works. And if it doesn't work, what you do is you close the cap like I've done. I've got a wooden table here, and you're going to hear this in a minute. And what I do is I just drop the pen up and down on the table to get it going. Works great to get gel pens going. Alright, so let's get this going here. Now, you can go pretty quick with this. I'll see how long it takes me to do this. I may or may not fast forward. I just haven't decided yet what I'm going to do here. Let's see now. And the one thing that I have always told you is what? Do not color over the black, right? Because that's your design element. Now, you wouldn't with the gel pens, but you might do that with pencil. Gel pens, I'm sure you're going to be a little more careful. Oh, see, now my pen's hanging up and I don't know why. So, tap it, get it going again. It just gets clogged up with paper and stuff. Alright, so let's get that going. I'm going through here. And that would be more fireworks you're probably hearing. And it's really a kick when you have pets because they don't know, of course, what's going on. I've got 3 cats and a dog. My cats are hiding and my dog is barking. So, because of course they hear that popping sound. Alright, look how great that glitter pen looks. Let me pull you in just a little more. There you go. Get you closer yet. Alright, so we're going through. It's been a really good day here in Cookeville. Our city has been celebrating now, gosh, for 3 days now. Our Mayor Ricky Shelton is really big on celebrating the 4th of July. And he's been running a program all weekend long. It's been absolutely fantastic. And in fact, if you want to see what he's been doing, look him up on Facebook, Cookeville, Tennessee, Ricky, R-I-C-K-Y, Shelton, S-H-E-L-T-O-N. And he has been live broadcasting with Facebook's new live broadcast feature. And it's similar to Periscope. And what happens is when you broadcast, everybody that's on your friend list gets a notification, and then they can go ahead and see what you're up to. What I've got to find out is whether I can limit who my broadcasts go to. For example, I have my own coloring group on Facebook. In other words, I wouldn't want to be boring all my friends with coloring stuff if that's not what they're interested in. But anyway, back to Mayor Shelton. You really should see what he was doing. We have a Slide the City, and that's that slide thingy that they put on a street that has a grade, a little hill, and it runs water down it. It's like a slippery slide, but they run water down, they plop you on an inner tube, and you go flying down the street. It's really fun. And Cookeville does that every year. Citizens love it. So Mayor Shelton this year, actually I've been quietly mentoring him behind the scenes because he's kind of new in doing this Facebook video. And we've been working together, and I've been helping him get some shots and teaching him how to interview people and how to promote Cookeville and all that fun stuff. So it's been really great. Really enjoyed doing that, working with him. So the other thing neat that he did is they went up in a fire truck bucket, and it goes 100 feet up in the air. So he went up in it with his 2 daughters, and of course they strapped him in, and the fireman went up there with him. Oh my gosh, the view from the top of the bucket was absolutely phenomenal. Just beautiful. Yeah, I just wanted to fix a couple things and go back here, and I gotta wait a second now for that ink to dry so I don't accidentally wipe it off. But yeah, look how great that looks. Isn't that beautiful? So, since this is going so fast, I probably won't zip through it and do the fast forward, but if you want to, that's fine. Leave that decision up to you. But I'm carefully going through, and I am hitting every other scale with the green. And it is looking really cool. Now, I will be using pencil over the top of this, so not to worry, you can use pencil because that's how I'm going to shade the tail and make it look 3-dimensional for you. Alright. And again, don't get sloppy, make sure you're staying in within your lines. You know I'm really big on that. Okay. Boy, that green looks good. I love green and blue together. Okay, now what I'm going to do with the tail, because we're getting awfully small here, is I'm going to hit this with green, and then I'm going to completely finish in the last of this with green. Yeah. That looks really cool, doesn't it? Alright, now, back to the beginning. And that didn't take so long, so yeah. I'm not going to fast forward the video when I publish this, but if you want to fast forward it, that's fine. I'll leave that decision up to you. Let me fix something here. There we go. Alright, so that was my green glitter pen. In this case, it was my neon glitter. I could have used a regular glitter, but that's fine. I just wanted to use a neon. Whatever strikes your fancy. Alright, so now I've got my blue glitter. And what I did, I lettered my pens with permanent marker. So, let me show you here. I'm going to pick you up and move you a little bit. I've got my different pens in containers, and they're soup cans. So what I did is I put all my neon glitters together. So that's what this is. These are all neon glitters. And then I put all my swirl pens together. And let's see. Then I put my regular glitters all together in one can. So rather than group by color, I group by type of pen. Then I've got my other, these are my Jelly Roll pens. So I just wanted to show you that real quick, just to give you an idea how I do it. Alright, so let me get back to this tail. And now I'm going to do the blue. And I think what I'm going to do is this time I will go from left to right. Sorry about the sudden movement there. Which is really funny because as Mayor Shelton was working with his camera, I was sending him texts once in a while, and I said, "Don't move the camera so fast." So he finally got to the point where he wasn't doing that. So what happens? I turn around and I do it. Okay. What does that say? What's that little saying? Do as I say, not as I do. So anyway, sorry about that. Alright, so now I'm popping in the blue. And that is really starting to look cool. I love it. Yeah. Let me move this over so I don't accidentally go off camera. Isn't that beautiful? I love how that picks up the shine. By the way, a couple people have asked me about doing specific coloring books. And the way I'm going to leave that is, if you want me to do a specific coloring book and I don't have it, then you're going to have to make arrangements to get that to me. And then I'll take a look at it and see, what I can do. If I already own it, I'll take a look through everything I've got and see, and be glad to do that for you. Now, I know a lot of us are working out of Johanna Bosford's book, and that's fine and the whole bit, but boy, there are some other ones that are really terrific ones that, I kind of like getting off the beaten path a little bit. It's a nice variety to do something different. And if you can bear with me, I'm going to show you one of those other books I've got. Let's see where that one is. Okay. And I'm going to pull you out. And this is Inky Ocean by Helen Elliston. And Helen got in touch with me recently, and she's going to send me one of her latest books. Sorry about the light glare. And so I'll be doing the coloring out of that. But That's what I mean. If you want me to do a specific book, if I don't own it, you'll have to get it for me. You can do that by Amazon gift card if you like. That's up to you. But if I have the book, of course, I'll be glad to do it. All right. So let me get back here. Pull you back in. Look away for a second while I'm jogging around. Look away, look away, look away. Dixieland. I was watching Gone with the Wind the other day, so I'm kind of thinking Southern here. That is a sad movie, especially, oh my gosh. Remember the scene where the troops had gone through Atlanta? Or no, the casualties came into Atlanta, and the camera pulls out, and down the middle of the street is just casualty after casualty. Oh, awful. Awful, awful. Anyway, so, but yeah, see how cool that glitter's looking on that? Love it. Now, see these little white dots that are right here? If you want, you can hit those with your pen just to get rid of them, because you really don't want those in there. And that's why you need to be really careful when you color and not get sloppy with it, because you really don't want white dots in there. So if you see any popping up, go back and fix it. And you've always heard me say, don't rush through your coloring just to get something done. If you're at the point on a page that you're doing something just to get it done, please set it aside until another day. It's so funny because I do these videos with you, and it's very relaxing for me just to sit here and, you know, talk to you in the whole bit. I guarantee you, if I wasn't in a good mood at the moment, I would not be doing these videos, and I would not be coloring with you. Because you would pick it up right away in the tone of my voice as to how I was feeling. So, oh, and the other thing I was going to tell you, if you are a coloring book author, and you want me to consider coloring a page out of your book for the publicity, get in touch with me about that as well. I'll be glad to work with you on that. Yeah, look how cool that looks. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, pen's starting to quit. And that's because it's picking up ink and paper, so it does that. So anyway, I hope everybody had a great 4th that's celebrating it, a safe one. Alright, see how good that looks? So yeah, it's a good thing you didn't fast forward through this video, because you would have missed all that other information. Yeah, pretty, isn't it? It's really pretty. Okay, there we go. Let me pull out. Does that not look cool or what? Now, if I see any white spots in there, I'm not going to go back right now and fix them because that's kind of going to waste your time. But I think I got some pretty good coverage on it. I mean, I see a couple there. And really all you have to do is just touch the pen to it and it goes away. Isn't that cool? Okay, so we got that part of the tail done. Let me turn this. And let me pull it out. And let me put my other drawing next to it for reference. I've decided to do that now so you can see what I'm aiming at and how I'm getting where I'm wanting to be. I think it's an excellent training technique and you guys like it and I like it, so I'm doing it. And excuse me, I'm going to take a sip of water. Alright, so here's the effect that I'm going after on the tail. Now, the next thing I'm going to work on are the fins. So, Polychromos number 266, which they tell me is the emerald green. I lied. Permanent green, excuse me. 266 permanent green. And my other one, if you want to get your pencil ready, which I'm going to be working with shortly, will be Faber-Castell, and that's going to be my number 159, and that's going to be my Hooker's green. Alright, so let me get my permanent green and watch what I do with the tail. So, as before, you let the pencil do the work, and you want to start with a light color and a light shading. I'm pressing about a 1. And as I've also told you before many times, as I'm coloring, when I start out light, it gives me ideas as to what I want to do and, you know, darken stuff in the whole thing. But the point is I start out light, and then that lets me make decisions from that point on. Alright, so light green, excuse me, light touch with a permanent green. That's what I meant to say. Alright, and let me get my paper towel. And I'm going to turn this little guy for a minute because I'm right-handed. Now, because I'm right-handed, I should have started over here, but this is going to sound weird. I like going from large areas to small. I don't know why, I just color better that way. And by the way, I'm skipping over the dark lines, the black lines. So I like to go from large areas to small. If that doesn't bother you, go from small to large for the purpose of left to right. Okay, so now I've got my basic green laid down. Look at my comparison. And obviously we're going to darken it, right? Okay, using the same pencil, the permanent green, and I'm going to sharpen it. There's my little cup I told you about, which if you own cats, again, keep the lid on it. You'll make the mistake once of forgetting that, and that'll be it. Because they'll tip it over and you won't ever do that again. Especially if it's been particularly full of shavings. Okay, let me bring you in a little bit. Retilt. So now what I'm going to do now, let me show you this one, is I want to darken in this area that's closer to the body of the tail. But I'm not using a darker green, I'm using my same shade of green, and I'm just pressing harder or firmer. And as I go out, I will lighten how hard I'm pushing. Okay? See how beautifully that comes out now? Let me tilt you again, excuse me. There you go. As I'm going towards the end, I am letting up on the pressure. Now, notice I'm not going all the way out to the end because I've already colored that. I'm going out to about, maybe the middle there. But darker towards the tail fin, getting lighter pressure with my pencils I'm going out. Now, when you get down to the shorter fins like this, it's going to get a little touchy. That's okay. Just still do the same thing that you want darker towards the fin because we're going to blend this. Okay, look how cool that looks already. And I haven't even blended yet. Alright, let me get back in view here for you. I can't show you the both that I'm pulled because I'm pulled in so tight. That's okay. More important right now that you see exactly how I'm coloring this. And now that paper towel is really important because we're on top of pencil that we've colored with. Alright, the neighbor's firecrackers have stopped. Yay! Alright, and then I'm lightening out with the pressure, right? Got some good pressure going here. And in this case, it's okay to go over the black, but I say that with caution. Just get into the habit of skipping over that black and not coloring on it. Okay, now we get our blender pencil. And what do I always tell you to do with that? Clean it off. See all that gunk that's coming off? And clean it off just before you're going to use it. Alright, let's get back in camera range and let me turn that upwards this way. Okay, paper towel. Now, with my blender pencil, I'm going to lightly blend the dark into the lighter. I'm using about a 1 pressure, if that. You do not need a lot of pressure. Now, I'm really light touch on the light part, see, because I want to blend that in to get rid of any white that's there, because remember how you saw that the blending pencil smooths out your color? Then I want to blend my pencil colors together, my green together. The dark green and the light green are the same color. Okay? And I think what I said was just confusing to you. So in other words, let me say it again. Very lightly, maybe a 0 to a 1, can't be 0, but a 1. First of all, blend in the very top that you colored in lightly, because remember we colored in the whole fin. So smooth that out, then blend in your dark towards the light. I'm blending in bottom to top. Okay? Doesn't that look cool? And look at the difference side to side. Smooth, spotty. Smooth, spotty. Alright, now I need to turn this because I'm right-handed. Paper towel. So I'm going to blend in my light green first, or not blend it, smooth it out. I guess you can say you're blending it into the paper. But just to distinguish the point, I'm going to tell you I am smoothing it. So I'm going to smooth that first, so I have a really nice looking green there. Okay, now I'm going to blend from dark to light gently. See how that's smoothing out and coming out beautifully? Yeah. And I'm just going stroke, 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 okay? I'm not really going back and forth because you don't really want to be pulling in the light to the dark. You want to go the dark to the light. Oh, yeah. Hit that with your brush. I'm going to pull you out. Look how sweet that looks. That looks sweet. All right, let me turn it. Let's look at our side to side. Okay, see how good that's looking? All right, now let's do the shading on the tail. You want to use the same shading of the same color that you put on the tail. So, I'm using my Polychromos. Okay, so Faber-Castell, and my color is the Delft Blue, and that is number 141. There you go. Okay, and what you're going to do now, let me tilt and zoom in. Is you're going to very lightly on each side of your tail, I'm pressing about a 0.5 to a 1. Let's say 0.5. And I'm just going to come out a little bit, probably about this far. I want to say about maybe a third of the way. You'll see why in a minute. Well, here, let me show you why. Because as you do this blue here, this is going to get lighter and lighter and lighter. And that's what you want, is that lightness in the center. See? So very, very lightly. I'm almost using the side of the pencil to do that. And again, let your pencil do the work. Okay? So what does that mean? You just go over and over it again until you decide that you've hit the darkness that you want. And I need to hit that with my eraser because I accidentally... Oh, let me see here. Got a stray line on that, and that's bugging the heck out of me. You probably didn't even see me do it, but it bothers me. Alright. But see how beautifully now that's starting to darken? Very, very lightly. Very lightly. Alright, now I'm going to do the other side. Excuse me for reaching in front of the camera. I had to retrieve my paper towel. And now I'm going to do the other side. Now, see how that center of the fin is starting to light up? And lighten up? Because I'm doing the darker. And again, I'm only using maybe 0.5 to a 1 in pressure and the side of the pencil. Very, very lightly. Curve with the tail. And don't let it get streaky. There you go. Isn't that neat? Let me pull you out just a little bit. See how you're getting that nice whiteness or lightness down the center? Okay, now I'm going to take Faber-Castell Black, color 199, and I'm going to go on the very outside now, and very carefully as I slip. Yeah. Let's try that again. Very carefully stay in your blue, right along the edge. Okay, now stay on your edge. I would say you're probably about a 2 or a 1. And we're going to line this, kind of like makeup liner. Okay. Now, that looks pretty stark, doesn't it? By the time I'm done, it won't be. Let's line the other side. I'm on the edge. Look how sharp that looks now. Let me pull you in just a little bit. Alright, now you know I'm always talking about blending side to side, and we shouldn't have sudden jumps in color. Alright, now watch this. The blue goes to about here. Now I'm going to take my black, and I'm going to very, very lightly shade in from my black outer edge onto that blue about half the distance. I'm going from the edge, here's the blue, I'm going no further than halfway down that blue. And especially around this curve, I'm going to give it a little extra emphasis. Isn't that beautiful? And this is really important to let your pencil do the work, because even though it may not look it right away that that's laying down color, it is. And every time you pass over it, it's going to get darker and darker, right? Alright, now let's do that on the other side. Do not go all the way over on the blue. No more than halfway between your edge and that edge of that inside blue, and just color. Look how sweet that looks. And then just fill it in and keep coloring as you wish, and sweeping your black over the blue but not covering up your blue altogether. Doggone it, I zipped off again. I hate that when I do that. Let me erase that again. Okay, so that lightened out when I had to erase, so I've got to fix that again. So I re-add my black, and then color in a little bit. No harm, no foul. It's just a time annoyance. Okay. All right. Let me pull out. And the very last thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my blender pencil, which I'm cleaning off now, but not on camera. And I'm very, very gently now going to sweep over my black and my blue. And that's really going to make this look terrific. Look how sweet that looks and how that middle fin is lighting up now. Alright. Now I'm going to go back to the tail fin a minute, and I deliberately waited to do this because it helps you adjust the color. I'm going to go back to the green a second. And I'm going to use my Hooker's green now, which is the darker of the two. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a dark line right next to the fin line. Run it very carefully and very straight. Now what are you starting to see on camera? Yeah, it looks like a 3D effect, isn't it? Look how that fin pops. You want to use the point of your pencil, not the side, and just darken that. Isn't that cool? See what I'm doing there? Then I'm going to do it on the other side. Turn my paper. Now don't let this throw you because you're working at a different angle. You want to make sure that you're on the underside of the tail fin. I'm turning my pencil as I'm doing this because I want my point to be sharp. And that would be Vicky coming up the steps with her ringing bell. Look how sweet that looks now. Then I'm going to clean off my blender pencil. And very, very lightly, I'm going to catch any irregularities, just very lightly. Just like 1 or 2 passes at the most, and just smooth that out a little bit. You don't want to be going up and down on this, because remember I told you that your blender pencil will lighten your colors. Alright, let me pull out. How's that looking to you? Isn't that terrific? Okay. Now, the last thing I'm going to do, if you look at my original, is I'm going to add a little bit of shadow behind the tail fin to make it really pop out towards you. So, in order to do that, I need to go back to my original background color, which, remember, was my dark flesh, number 130. Okay, I'm going to sharpen that with my electric sharpener. And I'm going to do this probably on just the one side, just for time purposes, because I still have to show you the hair yet. So this is the wall that you would have colored earlier. In fact, let me show you the original, just to give you, okay? Using the side of my pencil, just barely on its side to give me a nice soft color. Now, for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to color, well, alright, I won't color over the flame. I'll make it more realistic for you. Let me get that little guy right there. So this would be the wall that you've done earlier. And you know what? Let me go ahead and color this as well. Heck, I don't want to leave you hanging on this. You know me, I like to show you details. That's why you love me. And love my videos. Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe. You know I had to pop that in there. Notice I'm going in circles a little bit when I get next to my edges. That just gives me cleaner lines. I love this color. I really do. Okay. Now, a shadow darkens the thing that's behind the object you're putting the shadow on, right? That makes sense, should make sense. So now I'm going to use, of course, my Faber-Castell color 225, and this is my dark red, okay? Dark red. I'm going to sharpen it, so you're going to hear my sharpener. And you do want a pretty good point on that. Now, watch. I'm going to make a very narrow line, again, not pressing hard. I'm just about on top of the fin. Remember when you watched me put the shadows on the fish? Nice little narrow line. Okay. And we're going to do that on the outside. On the other side, excuse me. It's getting kind of pointy here. Stay close to your fin. Take your time. Okay. Now, what you're going to do is go back, and you're going to start coming out a little bit, and while you're doing that, you're going to lighten the touch of your pencil color. So in other words, you're going from very dark, right, next to this, and then it starts to get light as you go out. Isn't that cool? So as the joke goes, lighten up. And you don't need to come out too far, 1/8 maybe. Okay. Now I know that looks a little ragged, but trust me, when I'm done, it'll look terrific. Same with the other side. As you go away from the edge, you want to lighten your pencil touch. And that would be Vicky growling at the fireworks. Alright, now what I'm going to do is take my blender pencil, which I'm cleaning off again out of camera range. And now, very lightly, I'm going to mingle all three colors. So I've got my dark, and I'm going outward, just like my fins. Remember I went from dark to the lighter? So I'm pushing out, and out and to the right. And you don't want to see a distinguishing line between your peach and your dark color that you're using to make your shadow. You want that to be a really nice, clean transition. Isn't that neat? And if you want to, depending on how you feel it looks, you can use your dark flesh again and go over it one more time just to fix that transition. There you go. Doesn't that look sweet? Alright, so now let me put these side by side so you can see how we did those progressions. Is that not cool? And in fact, on the one on the left, I didn't use a blender pencil on it, so you can see how ragged it looks, because I was just checking something out with my pencil colors. But see, the minute I just start using my blender pencil, it smooths out beautifully and you have a really nice color transition. And if you're not satisfied that that color transition on the one I just did is transitioning the way you want, you can go back again and use your dark red and just go back again on it very lightly. Again, this is where you really want the pencil to do the work. Don't push it. Okay? Blender pencil. Now I'm not going to blend there where I just put the color. I'm just going to blend where it transitions to the next color. There you go. Oops. Isn't that beautiful? Now guys, I noticed that I'm running almost an hour on this, 56 minutes, so guess what? I'm not going to do the hair on this video. So this will be my second to the last video, and I will do the hair next time. Because I think an hour and a half is going to be really too much and could be a little intimidating. Alright, so let me pull out so you can see. Let me lay these side by side so you can see. There you go. And that is how you do your tail fin. Let me show my finished piece. And in fact, I hadn't smoothed my colors out because again I was experimenting with something. so you can see exactly how this eliminates any raggedness. Okay? And I'm not going to waste your time doing this again. I'll fix that later. Alright, so here we go. You pull out. You can see the whole thing. Next time I'm going to show you how to do the hair. I'm going to show you a little more detail than I've done on this particular coloring. See how I've got more highlights in this one? So this is what I'm going to show you next time. Okay? It is straightforward to do. Don't let it intimidate you. Alright guys, God bless you. This is ILene Vick for Adult Coloring by Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. You know, I trip over that once in a while because I don't want to say by ILene Vick. I want this to be a coloring exercise that you're doing with me. So it's with ILene Vick. Again, happy 4th of July. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, please subscribe, tell your friends, share your video on your website or on your Facebook site. I would appreciate that if you like what I'm doing. And we'll go from there. And then in the next video, I promise you a major announcement because I'll be starting a new project. All right, guys, take care. Happy 4th of July. Bye.